Thank you, Chairman Molinar, for holding today's hearing, and I want to thank all the witnesses for joining us today and staying until the end. It's evident that the CCP has demonstrated time and time again a willingness to conduct potentially disruptive cyber attacks on our infrastructure. And in 2004, PLA, let me catch my breath. PLA-affiliated hackers infiltrated the systems of at least 24 critical U.S. entities, while cyber attacks against Taiwan doubled with over 900 cyber attacks targeting Taiwan's government and private sectors. Mr. Joyce, what should be the U.S. cybersecurity strategy's top priority? Is it the detection of these offensive cyber operations, mitigation, or on implementation of defensive measures?
Yeah, thank you, Representative Kim. I really do believe it's a three-legged stool. One is the deterrence actions we've been talking about. The second is improving the defenses so they don't succeed nearly as often. And the third, Dr. Stewart talked about, is resilience activity, is making sure that even in the event somebody succeeds, that there are manual backups, there are processes that we're able to fight through a cyber attack and continue to provide the services that are being threatened in cyberspace.
Thank you. Ms. Galante, how can we work better with our allies and partners like the Five Eyes to counter the CCP's malicious cyber operations?
There are a number of allies in East Asia and South Asia who are interested in working with us and have a common interest in detecting Chinese activity on their networks. The Indians, the Philippines especially, have the tools but need additional capabilities to be able to find this activity. They looked at the US as a partner and a provider for the types of intelligence sharing that will be key for these countries to be able to find that activity and also share it with their private sectors.
Let me also follow up with Dr. Stewart. What steps should Congress take to strengthen the critical infrastructure and reduce the supply chain vulnerabilities that is exploited by campaigns like the Seoul Typhoon?
A couple of things. I'd mentioned that I believe we do need to have a strategic unity of force. You'd mentioned prioritizing between things, between offensive and defensive actions. I believe we need all of these, honestly, and confirmed between all of us that we are coordinating across all the different entities, agencies, and abilities to deploy. That includes things like there is volunteer entities that are attempting to help the infrastructure as well to put in those controls, helping them to remediate the vulnerabilities that still sit there on the systems and the legacy equipment that we're talking about today. Coordinating between those entities would be an excellent way to help show the force that we have, so it wouldn't just be we have the FBI or we have CISA, we have everyone who's able to coordinate doing that so that we're both efficient and able to get those solutions out there in place.
Thank you. You know, we've heard multiple times in this committee about the breadth of PRC targets and the depth of access in various sectors. So can you talk to us about the tools that we should be prioritizing on deterrence to mitigate our vulnerabilities?
At the very simplest level, I believe we shouldn't make it easy. There's lots of devices and items that are just sitting on the internet that shouldn't be there as well. There's some very basic things that we are just not getting right in lots of places, and we have to.
Do you think sanctions are particularly effective?
Yes, I believe sanctions are effective to get people out of our networks and stop encouraging them onto the easiest pieces. But if we still keep making it easy from the infrastructure perspective, then it will never deter, even with sanctions in place as well.
Are the current international legal frameworks responsive to counter cyber operations?
I do not have an answer to that, but I can prepare one for you. Sorry.
Does anyone want to cover that?
So I think it's very evidently they're very evidently not adequate. Right? When hackers can come from Russia, China, other denied areas that don't participate in international law enforcement. That gives safe havens where they get to keep taking shots on goal, right? They keep coming at us from these places, and they know that they're beyond the reach of Western law enforcement.
Great. Well, quickly, what are some of the ways we can change the CCP's aggressive, offensive cyber operations behavior? 3 seconds left, 4 seconds left.
I think we need to tie the cyber activities that are unacceptable that the PLA and the PRC do to other actions that we take outside of the cyber domain against China.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. My time's over.